All right, I've heard people say you can just walk over these and squish them. 10 out of 10. Hello, and thank you for checking out this video titled, something about New World. Are you returning to New World? Should you return to New World? Brimstone Sands is going to change the world. I don't fucking know. Something about New World, something about returning to it. I've come back. Obviously, Brimstone Sands has just come onto the public test realm. If you're not sure what that is, it's basically just, well, the public test realm. It's where they test all their shit so you can find all the bugs for them. Now, this is my this is my second attempt at an intro. My first attempt was rudely disturbed. I got to the end game back when you needed like orbs to run expeditions, like every single... Okay, that was... Am I gonna get fucking killed here? That was cool. And after that took place, I just decided a voiceover would be better. So I played about 4 hours today just running through Brimstone Sands. Now, for context, I'm recording this video and this commentary more about players returning to New World. Now, I played the fuck out of New World when it released back in... God, it was almost exactly a year ago. I think it was September of 2021. And I put in about 320 hours, which in MMO terms is usually a drop in the bucket. But for New World, that was pretty much it. If you were around at the time, the endgame was just not quite fleshed out. I'm happy to say it's improved quite a bit. It still needs some work, but it's there. You know, back at when it was first released, you needed orbs to run expeditions, and they were incredibly expensive. Your only other options were elite, chest farming, and then just crafting. PvP was kind of there, kind of not, but, you know, here we are. New year, new game. Now, I mean, you can see the visuals as I'm running through and just chatting over this. Brimstone Sands looks good. It looks good. It's only a small chunk of the map available on the PTR. Obviously, full release is going to be much bigger. If you're wondering what's going to be in Brimstone Sands, it's more of the same. I've done a few of the base quests here, and it's your classic go here, kill something, go here, loot a chest, go here, read a page, go here, chat to someone. Nothing you're going to be surprised about from an MMO perspective. But is it worth returning to New World for this? That's the question. And to be honest, I'm not sure. As a player returning, already 300 hours in the game, I came back in. I've enjoyed the new expeditions. There are a few more expeditions from when I left the game. Obviously, Brimstone Sands is going to introduce more as well. But in terms of moment-to-moment gameplay, I'm doing the same things. I'm running elite chests, looking for better loot, which, as finding better loot goes, is just the most mundane way to do it. You know, I've run expeditions. Look, they're not bad. And to be fair, I haven't got into the mutation system. If you're not familiar with that, basically the general expeditions can be mutated in any number of ways, increasing monster damage, health, resistance, nerfing your own damage, health, resistance, blah, blah, blah. Which does bring some variety to it, but at the end of the day, the expeditions, I think they're lacking a little bit in that. I should mention there are a whole ton of other quality of life improvements. One of the biggest ones, which I don't actually have a clip of here, but you can store so much more stuff. Back when New World first released, you could store everything in a town. But then if you went to another town and you wanted your stuff, you had to fucking walk back there, bitch. You had to walk those long, hard miles. Whereas now you can kind of access it anywhere. But I digress. Brimstone Sands, the upcoming DLC. It's obviously focused on an Egyptian, interestingly, Roman mix. I thought that was quite a weird aesthetic. But it seemed to work. It seemed to work. Look, I'm not a big story guy, so I haven't paid a ton of attention, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. It's an MMO story. If that's something you're into, I'm sure it's going to be great. I didn't mind the story in just New World in general. It was okay. But I don't play these games for the story. Now, in terms of combat, I got to try out the Greatsword. The Greatsword's been on the PTR for a little while. There's some gameplay in the background now of the sword. Not bad. Not bad. Look, I actually play a healer when I play this game. So for me, it was kind of neither here nor there. But I had a good time using it. And there's a decent weapon variety. Now, I'm sure you may have seen yourself if you're watching this video. New World is seeing a resurgence in the player base. I'm not optimistic it's gonna last, to be honest with you. Look, I think Brimstone Sands, I think the game's gone in the right direction. I think the game is improving a hell of a lot. It's come a long way since I played it a year ago, and I've actually had quite a lot of fun returning to it. But I'm already sick of it. And while playing some of the PTR today in Brimstone Sands was fun, it was good fun, I just doing these quests here where I'm picking up miscellaneous thing from the ground. I'm just, you know, killing these scorpions just as a way to get to the next point. And it was good to have a bit of a, I guess, a challenge in the combat. You know, I actually was wanting to fight these things and see what was going on. Basically, I don't fight anything in New World anymore unless it's in an expedition, which is their version of dungeons. Because you just, what's the point in fighting things out in the open world, you know? But hey, if you're a player that you've never played New World, you haven't touched this game, I'm sure you've probably seen it, but you haven't touched it. I would recommend picking it up if you're that type of person. If you haven't played this at all, I would recommend it. I've got a good 350 hours out of it. Again, for an MMO, a lot of people will say that's not much. I had quite a lot of fun with this game. Like, I haven't played this to the point where I am just sick to the stomach over it. I can pick it up, I can jump in for a bit, I can have some fun. And when Brimstone Sands releases, look, I might pick it up. But I'm only going to pick it up if there's nothing else for me to play. I'm in a bit of a situation right now where I don't have a main game. I'm floating between a few different things. I'm trying different things and just kind of playing whatever. I'm looking for something to really grab me. And playing 3 hours of this, I don't think it's New World anymore. It honestly just felt like more of the same, but I'm in a sandpit. And most people will say, look, that's what you're going to expect. And I think that is what you expect from an MMO. And I think that's fine. I think that's absolutely fine. If you love the New World loop, this is going to be great for you. You're going to love it. It's just more of the same. It's in a new environment. You're going to have some, I'll hesitate to say new enemies. Some of them are reskins. Obviously, I don't believe there were scorpions before. This enemy here, this enemy had some decent movesets that I hadn't seen, and I quite enjoyed fighting this thing. But again, I fought it once. I fought a few of these, and I'm not really keen on going back to fight them again. But I had a good time. And look, I don't want to shit talk New World, the devs, the game. It's a good game. And if you like it and you're really fucking excited for the release of Brimstone Sands and you just want to see a bit of gameplay, I am completely with you. You're going to have an amazing time, and I respect that for sure. But I think for me, in a position of a returning player, I've returned. I've been pleased with what I've seen. I've seen that things have improved, but it's been limited in its improvement. And I think that's still just an overall lacking in what's available in the end game. You know, once you finish the story in this game, which isn't particularly overly long, and once you complete the side missions, which aren't particularly overly interesting, unless you really are interested into the narratives that run through this universe. Once you finish those things, the end game, it does boil down to repeating the same expeditions with some mutations, which great if you enjoy that. It goes to running through the elite zones, just farming chests, but nobody fights through the elite zones. It's a group of like 30-40 people running in a straight line from chest to chest to chest, which is fine. I don't mind that. I wouldn't want to fight through it myself. I'm happy to do the chest runs. And then it's crafting. And I must have done hours and hours of crafting, and I just can't craft anymore. I just can't do it anymore. But if you can, that's great. I explained to a friend early on that this gave me RuneScape vibes, in the sense that you're always working towards leveling up something else. You're always walking towards building towards something else. The problem is, a game like RuneScape, other MMOs like Lost Ark, there's more to do when you hit the end game. In New World, I feel like you just hit a hard wall and then you're just sitting there face planting into it over and over. And if you don't like what that wall's made of, then yeah, it just kind of loses you at that point. Now, look, I didn't want to show off the expedition early on in this video. I did complete the expedition with a party. I'll put some of that gameplay here at the end for anyone who's interested in, I guess, looking at that. It was pretty fun. I actually really enjoyed it. The mechanics were not bad. And look, this is obviously the initial expedition. I trust there will be more expeditions, hopefully with some deeper mechanics. But yeah, look, if that's not something you want spoiled, then now's probably the best chance to tune out. I want to thank everyone for, if you got this far in the video, thank you so much. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you gonna come back to New World? Are you looking forward to Brimstone Sands? Did you never leave New World? Like, tell me, like, what is it about the game that you're really enjoying? Have I missed something, and do you think I need to be really checking it out, and I'm missing a massive part of the end game? I guess one part I didn't touch on is the PvP aspects. I really did like the idea of factions taking over the world, and then you own your regions, and you have your faction wars. I think they just missed the mark on that a little bit. And I'll say, as a casual player who worked full time and didn't have, you know, all the options to know life this, I always found that I was kind of not quite on the list of people who made it into the faction war, because I wasn't quite the high enough level. I didn't quite have the gear score. I was always just kind of below. And I did play in a couple of the faction wars, and they were really good fun. I played Outpost Rush, but I found the PvP combat to be just not quite as clean as I wanted, just not quite as crisp. But hey, if you have a different opinion, let me know. And look, if you like, subscribe, comment, it all helps me out. It all helps you know what you guys are wanting to watch, and I really appreciate it. Now, I will leave you with a small clip of the one thing in this Brimstone Sands area that I really enjoyed, and then it'll dive straight into some of the expedition gameplay. I might throw some commentary over it. I don't know. You'll see. It'll be there. It won't be. Fuck yeah. Okay, they got armadillos. I'm so into this. Oh, that's cool. It becomes immune, and then just gets shit on. Alright, so in terms of expedition gameplay that I've included, there were, and again, spoilers, if you don't want to know shit about the expedition, now's your time to just tune out. There were like 3 main bosses. I'm not going to bother showing the runs between the bosses, and sadly I died right away at the first boss, because I had not spec'd very well. I didn't really think about my spec going into the PTR. I literally just threw on some random armor, random weapons, didn't really spec them out particularly well, which caused me to die there. So I spent the entire first fight outside the door. Apologies for that, but that's all you'll see from the first one. So yep, second boss of the expedition here. This one was quite a lot of fun. There were non-stop spawning ads, which made things quite difficult. Also, maybe just a flag, Australia doesn't have a public test realm, so I am playing on a server in the US with a lot of ping during these fights, along with a few other people from the party, so forgive us if we really shit the bed a couple of times. Look, this fight was quite long, and we didn't finish it on this attempt. Once again, I didn't survive the attempt we finished it on. Go me. But I've left about 5 minutes of footage in here for this attempt, so feel free to watch that if you want to watch through some of this fight. If not, skip about 5 minutes forward and you'll see the final fight in the expedition. All right, this was the final fight in the expedition. You'll see through this fight, and I'll explain some of the mechanics now. So there are two bosses. This first one, who's a bit more of a tank bruiser, and then there's like a mage that comes out in the second form. And then third form, you fight them both together. Something we never saw, because one of the guys had run through this before, is that at the very end in the third phase, you need to kill both bosses within, I think, about 15-20 seconds of each other. If you kill one without killing the other right after, he'll revive his friend. So you need to really kill them in tandem. Something else you'll notice is the mage will do a move where he pulses the stage, and the team need to run to the 4 pillars and activate them all to stop him doing that. That can kind of wipe the team. That happened to us once. Other times we were able to kind of heal through it. It was a bit finicky. Like sometimes it would wipe us, other times it would just hurt us a lot, but we could heal through it. On this attempt, I think we just make it straight through. I do go down once, but I found this fight to be a lot easier than the second. I mean, all of this is subject to change, obviously, because it's the public test realm, so they may make it harder, they may make it easier, who knows. But yeah, look, I'll leave you guys here. Again, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.